Welcome back. A reminder of the rookies that we're looking for on the left side, and then the cards I need to complete the set. Got a Arya Starkett, Blankenship, Sheridan, Liriano, Evans, Winningham, Bonilla, Kipper, Dalton, Dykstra, Greg, Edwards, and then those all-star inserts, which I'm not gonna name out like a freak. All right, let's check out what's in the pack today. All right, still looking for those cards on the right side. Here's our 1990 Fleer today. All right, what's our sticker about? True or false? Fenway is the oldest park in baseball. I think it's Wrigley Field. Oh, it says false, Tiger Sam. These are old. And I know the Orioles played in. They were the St. Louis Browns. Apparently, they played in Milwaukee as well, according to this. Got our stickers. By the way, they started putting stickers in these to replace the gum because kids were just throwing out the gum anyways. I don't know if it was gross then, but it's gross now. Dave Smith, Mike Moore, Dave Gallagher, Danny Jackson, Otis Nixon, Mike Schooler, Rick Ruskell, Jody Davis, Neil Heaton, Jerry Reed, Ken Daly, Wade Boggs. Okay, got a Wade Boggs Hall of Fame guy there, at least. Who is this? Jim Corsi, Tom Herr, and then Slim David Wells, known for being a bigger guy later in his career. Man, a couple dud packs in a row, but that's to be expected looking through all this stuff. These packs look a little nicer than the last few, though. A little bit cleaner. All right, I guess we're gonna find something to talk about. Cool. Yeah, like I said, the cards have been looking nicer the last few packs. Some of the packs you get, they're all just chipped up on the top and around the edges, but this is the guy I chose to focus on today. So David Wells, this is really early in his career. So he pitched from, and let's focus on the card first. Like I said, Slim David Wells, and there's a little more to that. Um, so this, I think I mentioned him in my first episode. Jeff Pearlman, a writer for SAI back in the day, currently a YouTuber and a writer. He released this article about David Wells in the 90s about basically how he loved to drink and eat. And David Wells afterwards was like, that guy didn't even talk to me. So he followed him around for about 2 weeks. And I guess it was kind of cold. David Wells didn't give him like the time of day, really. He's like, you can follow me, but I'm not going to talk to you. And Jeff Pearlman was like, well, I'm going to write anything I want. And since then, Jeff Pearlman has apologized and was like, it was a low blow. I shouldn't have wrote about that. But that's kind of like David Wells has that body type. He's a bigger boy, but to say that he just liked to drink and eat was obviously ridiculous. He was an athlete he was in baseball for 21 years. So on that note, let's look at his baseball ref. So I think David Wells, why I chose him today, kind of quintessential Hall of Very Good, where he never really had an elite season. Had a couple pushing 5 WAR seasons, so pretty good. Made 3 All-Star teams. Actually won a World Series in '92, the first Blue Jays World Series championship when they went back to back in '92 and '93. But he had a terrible WAR that season. He started 14 games, appeared in 41, had a -2 WAR, going 7-9, but did get that World Series ring. And then I kind of associate him with the Yankees and just being part of the Yankees dynasty. And really, he wasn't part of that team. Or, I mean, he was kind of part of the end team. I believe he won a championship with them in '98 because they lost. I think they lost in '97. I think they won '95. No, they won in '96 and then won in '98, '99, and 2000. So he was only part of that '98 team, and then he really interesting career. Like, check this out. So it starts with Toronto for about 5 years, 6 years, goes to Detroit for 2.5, trade at the deadline to Cincinnati, signs with Baltimore, goes to the Yankees, wins that championship in '98. Goes back to Toronto for 2 years, then the White Sox for a year, then back to the Yankees for 2 years in 2002 and 2003. I think in 2003 he lost to the Diamondbacks in the World Series with the Yankees. And then 2003, he's 40 years old. Hey, why doesn't he just play 5 more years? And then I remember this vaguely, but I remember him hopping around. But he goes to the Padres and the Red Sox and back to the Padres, and then finishes with the Dodgers, where he pitched for 7 games and actually went 4-1. So they must have put up a lot of runs for him. But again, very Hall of very good. Really known for pitching a perfect game in '97 or '98. I know that was with the Yankees. Apparently, he was hungover, so maybe there is a little to that, like drinking reputation. Um, but really, if you grew up watching baseball in the era I did, from like I started watching like 97, 96, 97, all the way to now. But like David Wells was my childhood. He just bounced around. I'd hear about him. He was usually, he never played for the Tigers um, when I watched. So he was always against my team. I hated him, but I hated him because he was one of those guys that had a lot of personality. And if he was on my team, like if the Tigers would have welcomed him back, I would have too. Um, but yeah, that's my feature today. Hopefully, you learned a little bit about David Wells. Hopefully, he's cleaned up his act. Actually, I don't care. I hope he's doing whatever makes him happy. All right, that's the episode today. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.